Hello, everyone. It is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is a rescheduled Sunday night live. Apologies for that. Did not expect to have to go out of town last night, but I did. But I am back, and we are going to do some stamp therapy. I'm going to see if I can get just a little bit more light on my table. Give me 1 second. There we go. I think that's a little better. Mini catalog is live. Look, I can open it. I can open it. How about that? So lots of great stuff in here. As always, the holiday catalog to me is the best thing out of the entire Stamping Up year. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. So lots of fall, which we love fall, right? And then there's great Christmas in here as well. So make sure if you do not have one of these and you are local to me, you can do a porch pickup. Just give me a shout out and let me know that you want to come for one, and I will make sure it is in the tote on my porch, on my bench, so you can grab one out of there even if I'm not around. Okay. And make sure you say hello when you hop on so I know that I'm not talking to myself. I know this is an odd time for us. And I know some of my regular watchers work, so this may not work out for you, but hopefully you'll come back and watch the replay. I will give you a heads up that I have done some stamping in advance because just as my sight was coming back in my left eye, the blood vessel blew again. So I have no sight in that eye again. I'm hoping it takes a little less than 2 weeks to come back this time, but we'll see. It is what it is, but I am fairly certain that I will be having a surgery. Um, Probably not until the end of September, simply because of my schedule. But so I may be offline for a while I recover from that, because with that, I'm really not going to be able to put my head down to even look to stamp, let alone do cutting and that type of thing. So there may be a pause while we go through that. But anyway, so as to not drive you crazy with me not being able to stamp, I went ahead and did some of the stamping in advance. But we are going to do this month's pop-up class, which is a Christmas card class, right? And it is with the Jar of Joy, which is the companion, the Christmas stamp companion to our jar bundle. And there are 4 cards in this pop-up class that look very much, if not exactly, like these. Okay, there you go. So those are the 4 cards. You're also going to get a full roll of ribbon of the red and white baker's twine. You're going to get a package of the what are these? These are new. These are the traditional sparkling sequins. You're going to get a package of those. You're going to get a half package of the rhinestones, because I figured everybody has rhinestones, which I did not grab those and bring them to my table, sadly. And then you'll get enough supplies to make 2 each of the 4 different cards that you see here. So the cost, I believe, is $30, and the link to register for that class is down below. Registration does close on the 16th. So if you are interested in this, make sure you grab that. All right, so I think we're going to start with this guy. Okay, and let me grab my goodie bag here. I'm a snowman lover, so of course I had to create a card with the snowman image that's in the Jar of Joy. That Jar of Joy stamp set is really a good one. It's a standalone. Like, you don't have to punch out and do, dimensionalize or anything like that. You can stamp right on your cardstock. But you've got ornaments, you've got the snowman, and you've got the gingerbread people. And I'm thinking that might even fit in the jar if you just wanted to put the greeting, use it as a label for your greeting, right? So I'm using two-tone Pool Party, right? This is cut from a 12 by 12 and embossed with the timeless plaid. And then you simply take a sanding block. This is actually a nail buffer. You can get them on Amazon. You'll actually get one in your class kit as well. So if you don't already have one, you'll be getting one of these in that kit. Stampin' Up used to sell sanding block, but we don't anymore. We really should bring that back now with the introduction of the two-tone um, cardstock again. And the two-tone cardstock is a little bit of lighter weight. Okay, so it's not going to be the heavy cardstock that you're used to with the regular 8.5 by 11. Again, this is sold in 12 by 12. We have assorted packs if you want to give it a try, or we have solid packs. So you can get a whole pack of 12 by 12 in Pool Party, for instance. And now I'm looking for my adhesive. So once you've, I mean, it is thinner, as I mentioned, and once you've sanded it, it's even a little bit thinner. So you want to go gently with your tape when you're applying. So I'm doing shorter strokes than I normally do, just to make sure I have adhesive all over. And then I have a couple of the circle die cuts from Spotlight on Nature. We're just going to go ahead and mount those together. And I already know I made a mistake. You'll love that when you're not even a third of the way into the kit and you realize, oops. So let's grab the red and white twine because I needed to put a piece of that coming down from the top. I'm going to grab this. Hopefully that's centered. My center is a little bit off. It's amazing all the things that you don't realize you kind of both eyes are critical to figure out or see. I'm going to grab that. And then I'm just going to bring that over. And lay it down and just add a little adhesive so it stays in place. And then we'll put this back on our card front. And I can already tell I'm not exactly centered, but hopefully we'll be able to make this work. Not too bad, right? That will drive me crazy, but let's see if I can do anything about it. It's a little better, I think. Okay, this is going to go on with dimensionals, so let me grab those and we'll pop that on. Okay. And we're going to put that out there. I'm working really far away from myself as well because somehow my camera is totally messed up and I can't seem to get it corrected. So we're going to be looking for a new camera setup, maybe while I'm not doing lives for a while. And I will let you know when that's going to happen. I'm assuming at this point with two back to back that they're going to want to do surgery. So just trying to get everything organized for that. Because that'll take me out for a little while. And I'm going to try to trim these tails down a little bit, but I can't really see them. We're going to go with that. Okay. So then I did go ahead and stamp this one. This is just the snowman stamped in Memento Black. This is one piece. So you just line up with the hat and the neck of the snowman and you put your scarf on there. And then I stamp the snowflakes. All of those stamps are in the Jar of Joy stamp set. I stamped those in Pool Party. And I did pull. I had pulled, oh, there it is. I pulled a Link of Stella. And we're just going to put some of that down here under the snow. And you could even put it on the snowman if you wanted to. Okay. All right. We're going to grab my silicone pad, put a little adhesive on our jar lid. And then that's going to go flat since I already popped up the circle that it's going to mount to. Okay. And you could even take your pumpkin pie blend and color in his little nose. If I hit that, it'll be a miracle, but I think I might have done okay. All right. So that's the image. Hopefully it's straight. You guys will be able to tell better than I. We're going to grab our real red ink and stamp our greeting. That's if I can find my real red ink. Got it. Bright and happy Christmas wishes. Bright and happy Christmas wishes actually comes from Jolly Holly. But you can use any Christmas greeting. You don't have to use the ones that I used if you're getting the kit. We'll see how straight that is. Oh, that's not too bad. That's going to also go up with dimensionals. And do you know where that label came from? Anybody have an idea? Hey, Donna. It came from More Messages. It's this one. So I just cut a small piece of paper and die cut that right out of the entire die itself. I've not touched the greetings in here. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just haven't. But I love the die. So it's okay. And sometimes, and I just did it out of the mini catalog, I will buy just the die sets for some stamps. Now, the only problem with that is in another month, I will have seen other crafters do amazing projects, and then I'm going to want the stupid stamp set. So then I'm going to pay full price for both the dies and the stamp set. But you know, that's how it rolls sometimes. I hope that's straight. And then we're going to grab one of the pretty, pretty gems that comes with the class. The timing of this is horrible because this is my favorite time of the year to stamp, but if only I could control it. If only. And we're just going to put one of those pretty blue gems on there. All right. And then on the inside of the card, I put, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. That is also from the Jolly Holly. I'm going to leave these out because we're going to need them. And no sense me having to go back and forth with that. And we did that in real red. And we'll just say a little prayer that that's at least somewhat straight. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, so there's project number one. Little snowman. Set him aside. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in this one. Now this one is a little bit of a fun fold. Kind of a takeoff on a buckle fold if you've ever done a buckle fold. But this is tucked in behind the greeting and then it opens up like this. So I thought that was fun. And again, we're using thick basic white. I have embossed our layers with the embossing folder from Jolly Holly product suite or product bundle, I think it is. And this is the distressed regal paper. This was a carryover from last year's Christmas, I think. Use that a little better. And if I'm not responding to your comments, I apologize. Rick is at work. It was going to work out last night, but as I said, we couldn't do it. So he is at work and I am solo. So this is just a piece of paper. We've got a little flap there that we're going to crease. We're going to add some of that blueberry bushel embossed. This is also embossed with the same 3D embossing folder from Jolly Holly. The embossing is done for you when you get the classes. Embossing and die cutting. I won't do the punching because you need to stamp. So we won't be doing that. Sending a little cheer is from a little cheer stamp set. So cute. This is the one that has the coordinating punches with it. You've got packages on there. You've got some cute little greetings. Makes a great tag. You've got a cord that you can string your images from. So that's a cute set. And I think it's still available. I'm not sure that wasn't an online exclusive, although I usually mark them. But again, I did the stamping in advance because, you know, no sense in all of us being frustrated. All right. I did not do the jar. So we're going to do the jar together just so you can see one jar done. And yeah, I think I did it in Memento. We're going to do it in Memento. Stamp that down there. Yeah. So I wear the ink. That's always fun. I have not been able to figure out what I did. Hey, Betty, thank you. What I did to destroy being able to see comments, but I really can't see them. Okay, so we are going to emboss. So I'm going to grab my embossing buddy, my Versamark. I'm going to take the embossing buddy all over that. Let me see if I can find, that's gold. I think this is silver. That looks like silver. Grab my tray. I'm looking for my ornament stamp. And now I'm looking for my entire stamp set that I know I had because I showed it to you. Oh, there it is. I thought I had the ornaments mounted. I do somewhere. Oh, please. I'll find them. I got them. Sorry, guys. You deserve a medal for putting up with this. All right, so we're going to bring these up close to that top edge. And then we're going to pour the silver embossing powder over them. Over the tray. Did I mention that's blueberry bushel that I'm using the blue paper? I like silver and blue together. And here we get to have silver, gold, and blue, right? All right, so let me put all this stuff out of the way before I knock it on the floor, which would not be good. And now I'm just going to grab my heat tool. And you'll be able to see when the powder gets hot and it starts to melt. So I kind of hold my heat tool in one place until I see that happening. And then I'll move it. If you hold your heat tool in one place for too long, it will burn your paper over time. So make sure here's the thing, guys, I can't see if it's melting or not. So by now it should be, because by now it should be hot. You can also, if you don't have silver embossing, you can use smoky slate or one of the other grays that we offer to do this. All right, I'm going to be brave because it should be, but it is not. Uh-oh. What's going on? There we go. Sheesh. Just like that. Okay. I don't know why it took that long. It doesn't normally take that long. And then I'm going to use the, I think this is the light. Yeah, the light blueberry bushel to add the color inside. And you can go right over the embossing because it will resist the embossed section. Or you can take a tissue or something over it. And understand yours will look better because you're going to be able to see what you're doing. But we're going to go with that for the moment. And then I've got the tiny little bow somewhere and the blueberry bushel. Now this is going to be your laugh for the day. And I'm probably going to have to go off screen for this because I seriously cannot see what I'm doing. It's not too bad. It could have been worse, trust me. Okay, we're going to grab the punch. And again, you could easily fussy cut this if you don't have the punch. It does coordinate with the other jar stamp set. So it would be beneficial for two different stamp sets. And silicone pad. What did we do before silicone pads? We were cleaning up a lot of glue, weren't we? This is going to go onto our flap with dimensionals. Who started Christmas cards? Anybody? Anybody started their Christmas cards? Most of the cards I do because I've either done classes or they're in my club or something, some such thing like that. Okay, this piece is going to get mounted inside the card, right? Just aligned with the edge of the card base or the card back. I'm going to do that before I mount the greeting because that will dictate to me where I need to mount the greeting to use it as the catch to hold the flap in place, if you will. So we're going to come right about here. Perfect. Okay. And then I know where I'm going to put my greeting. I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. The trick with this is you want to keep your dimensionals low. Normally we would put them kind of centered on the sides. Here we're going to keep them low so that our corner can slide in under there. Okay. Does that make sense? So just keep the dimensionals on the back of this a little bit lower than you would normally. And then that becomes your catch to hold it in place. Okay. Little rhinestones, as I said, you get a half a pack of those in your kit. Now there is paper here somewhere that we're going to stamp that bright and happy again. Here we go. And I actually added a layer of the blueberry bushel. Actually, we'll do that after we stamp. The blueberry bushel for the inside of this card as well. Since it is a white back, it just gives it a little bit more pop. We're going to try to do this so I am on camera. Hopefully that's straight. I don't think it's too bad. Okay, that might be a little bit downhill. I know, isn't this set cute, Donna? It really is. Let's cover this before Lori lays her hand or something else down in it. It's one of those really juicy ink pads. Boy, I got ink all over me. As long as I don't get it on the project, we're fine. Didn't quite get that centered. Gonna, I don't think I have any white. Well, this is better than nothing. Let's try putting this behind me. I think that's going to help get that aligned a little better, right? There we go. And then this just goes on the inside of our card. And again, tuck the flap in like that. So it's a little, like I said, it's a little bit of a fun fold, reminiscent of a buckle card. I did years ago, I did buckle cards, but I thought that was cute. Okay. All right. So that is project number 2, 2 more. It's 4 cards in this class. Again, you get 2 of each. So it's an 8-card class. Plus you get all those goodies I was telling you about. Now we're looking for this one. Found it. Okay, this one I did, I think, all the stamping except possibly the inside greeting, simply because I knew by this point whatever whatever I had been able to do was probably done. So we're just going to add a layer of real red behind to make the basic white pop. We're using pecan pie as our card base. We are going to bring this in. This one, I never get the name of this. I never get the name of this embossing folder. It is called Plaster Painting 3D embossing folder, and it's one of the big guys. So, you know, I really love these guys because depending upon how you're doing it, and in this particular case, that's how I wanted the plaster to look, was the pattern coming down. You can fit 2, depending upon the size, in here and run them at one time. The thing about this that's tricky, it has the tape here at the bottom that you would, excuse me, that you would see on drywall. Where you were taping it together. So that gives you a whole different texture and could be a fun top or something if you wanted to make sure you got that into the pattern. All right, so the greeting that I'm using on this one, wishing you the sweetest Christmas, comes right from that stamp set, the Jar of Joy. Popping that with dimensionals. I'm also going to throw a sheet of dimensionals in that kit. So I don't think that was included on the description in the newsletter or in the write-up that's below for the registration, but you're going to get that and you're going to get that sanding block as well. So in addition to the other goodies. All right, so that's going to go up here in the corner. Okay, well, we're going to go with that. And then I just made a table. And I did this years ago. We had some gardening set, and I did this. I made a bench, and I just used the Country Woods Designer Series paper, and I cut 2 peg legs and the bench top. So let me add some adhesive to this, place our legs accordingly. And oops, that one didn't stick, did it? Let's make sure it's straight. All right, be contrary. I'll fix your wagon. There we go. And then we will mount this to our card base. Liquid glue might be your friend there. I'm not sure. Truthfully, Donna, because of what's been going on, I haven't been online much. Oh, wait, you texted me about it. Yes. Yes, 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 it is. It is. Yep, this is the pop-up class. Tomorrow night, I'm hoping to do just cards for this month. And then next Sunday will be the creativity delivered class. I got a lot of stuff going on this month. And then this guy's going to sit right there. And he's going to go on flat. But yes, you have ordered this one. Creativity delivered is with the Charming Day bundle, which I got to tell you, love that. I love that bundle. Okay, so we're going to come in. We're going to grab some more of these pretty gems. And I think I used medium and small. You get a full package of these. What's this guy doing? Escaping? No. Oh, there we go. I love these. I think they're so pretty. Of course, anything that sparkles, right? Anything that sparkles. Sparkles. Oh, God. Okay, and then we need an inside. Oh, shoot. We're going to wait and do the inside later because I don't want to take it off the block yet. So we'll come back and finish that card, but that's what that's going to look like on the outside. I love the gingerbread. And there's a 2-step to that one, right? There's the outline, which I did the best I could with the early espresso, and then the pecan pie. And then I used my Real Red Blend and just colored in those little hearts. Okay. The reason I don't want to tear that part or put that apart is we're going to do an arch on our last project with the photopolymer stamp. So I'm sure you've heard by now, or you've read in my newsletter, or heard from another crafter that Stampin' Up has made some changes, or is making some changes. We are eliminating red rubber, and I believe that starts with the November online releases. We are eliminating the cases, the stamp cases, and we're going to have stamps and dies in envelopes, similar to our die envelopes today, but a little bit different. But no more hard cases, so no more these, right? Why I felt the need to reach up there when I'm surrounded by stamp cases, I don't know, but no more stamp cases, but more like, this was when we brought Close to My Heart over, I got one of their stamp sets, so it'll be something like this, right? And the Stampin' Write markers have been eliminated. And I know they were on last chance list. I do not know what may or may not still be there, but we are not going to have Stampin' Write markers anymore. With the introduction of blends, Stampin' Write marker popularity kind of went away for me, and I should probably do something like that. There's a lot of different techniques that you can do with your Stampin' Write markers that you cannot do with your Stampin' Blends. Coloring on your stamp itself is one of those things, right? And it was much easier to do it with red rubber, but you can still do it with photopolymer. There's some spritzing techniques. There's some other techniques that I would love using the Stampin' Write markers for. But in reality, I reach for them maybe 1 out of 75 times that I use my blends. So it makes sense. It makes sense. All right. So I used the new, don't ask me what it's called. Nope, that's not it even. What it's called or where it's from. And if one of you knows, please say it. But this is the new embossing folder. It is a hybrid 3D, and I pulled it out of the packaging and never labeled it. So shame on me. Have to fix that. But I embossed the white, centered it, and then I embossed the mossy meadow as well. And I am going to do my best to line that up in there once we've stamped it. So what I did is I took the photopolymer stamp, and you need a bigger block than what your stamp is, obviously, and it has a little more depth. And I just positioned it on here at an angle. So I kind of bent it and then pressed it down onto the block. And after I stamp it, I will show you, because I've got it on there just the way I want it right now. So I want to stamp it first. And we are using Mossy Meadow. And I am going to hope that that is even, because basically I got one shot at that, unless I want to emboss again. So there we go. So you can get that curvature. And I know I've shown you that before. If you follow me regularly, we've done that before, but that's kind of one of the advantages of the photopolymer stamps. So now all of our stamps will be photopolymer, and you'll be able to do that with any of them. All right, let's grab that ornament set again. So this time I'm not using the jar. This time we're just using the stamps that are in that stamp set, Jar of Joy. And because this stamp set had all the images and greetings in it, I tried to stay as much with that as I could. I had to go outside for, a couple of the inside greetings and that type of thing. But for the most part, I tried to keep it just to that stamp set, so you didn't have to worry about having a whole bunch of different stamp sets. I'm going to take the blueberry bushel off the bow before we stamp it in the mossy meadow. Always a good idea, right? Okay. Here we go again. Oh, I know. If I am off screen, I apologize. There is no way. Ooh, that one was good. And that one wasn't bad. So there we go. There's our bows. That's not too bad. This is a quick card, especially because that embossing will be done for you. And I do have helpers that come in. I've really been trying not to bug them and ask for help, because I know they've got busy lives too. But as I go through the next few weeks, they will be here. So don't worry about your class kits. They will still come as close to after registration as I can get the product here. All right, so I think I've got that fairly lined up inside the embossed Mossy Meadow. And we're going to add some adhesive to the back of this. And I am going to write "Justify" this on the base. And you'll see what I mean by, you'll see what I mean by that. So this is not your normal, oh, let's do a 5 3/8 by whatever, right? So I'm going to write "Justify" this. It almost turns it into a faux bookbinding card with the ribbon going down there, but it's not. I didn't seal it on the inside. I let the red ribbon be seen in there just to add a little extra accent to it, right? So we're going to write "Justify" on the card front. When you get the kit, you have this video to come back and watch as you're putting the cards together. So hopefully that is helping you to catch those little tips, right? Okay, and then what did I do with the cute little twine? There it is. Hopefully this is enough. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be enough. As a matter of fact, we're just gonna wrap. You'll wrap twice. I'm gonna wrap once, because I know it's not gonna go around twice, because you'll have a full roll. And I am down to this. And it's just a knot. Okay, I've got tape stuck to my finger, as if this isn't hard enough. And it's not usually this hard. I'm just going to go with that for now. I'll deal with that later. I'll take that off and put something else on there because I don't like the way that came out at all, but it is what it is. I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay, so you'll have 2 rows. It will fill in. It will be tight. It will be beautiful. It'll be like this. Mine, not so much right now. Oh, I don't know, guys. Maybe I should quit until life is better. What do you think? All right, some more of our beautiful glimmery red berries, haha, if you will. And you can use whatever size. You don't have to do what I do, obviously. There we go. You could even use the green ones on there. All right. Okay. And then on the inside, I stamped that celebrate the season, which is actually from one of the new Christmas sets, which I'm not sure I have it here. Let me see if I can grab it. No, I don't have it here. But anyway, you can use whatever greeting on the inside that you would like, but that's what that looks like. All right. So that is the inside of our card. So we have 1, we have 2. It's like, why does that feel so thick? We have 3, and we have 4. All right, so the class is $30. Again, 2 of each design for 8 cards. Plus, you're getting a full roll of the red and white twine. You're getting a full package of the new pretty sequiny sparklies. You're getting a half a pack of rhinestones. You're getting a sanding block and a sheet of dimensionals. $30. Registration is in the link below. If you're interested, go ahead and grab it. I think registration, I put in there, I think it closes on the 16th. So I hope you like those. It's a great way to get started on your Christmas cards. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for putting up with me. I will do my best to be here tomorrow night. Every day is a little bit different, so I never know if I'm going to have enough sight to do it. If I don't, I always post on my Facebook page that unfortunately I won't be able to be live, but I do plan to be here tomorrow night at 8. And hopefully we'll be doing just cards. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Bye.